too. I'm recording it. So what your main goal is, I mean, honestly, right now, 5,000 points is all you need to get on the cruise in general. And if you go Ruby, or if you help somebody else go Ruby, then that means that you have 5,000 points. So, and that will give you a pass to the boat, which is really awesome. So if you're just getting started, like I know that some of the girls who we're just on our new distributor hangout are on here right now, which is awesome. And all it takes is you getting your first 4 customers, but then you starting to build your business. So a Ruby is just 3 distributors along your top, and then one of those distributors going executive. So it's so easy to do. It's very doable. And then after that, you just need a few of those boxes, the 2 top boxes and then the 2 executive boxes to be at 400 in volume. So people have done that in days. You know, when we're especially going for, you know, our kind of boom peak seasons, and just even in just no matter when, we are always trying to build rubies, and we are always you can do it really quickly. So people, just last month, a few people on our page promoted to Ruby. That's kind of your first goal no matter what. But if you do it this month, you're also hopefully going to go on the cruise with us. Because meanwhile, when you're building your Ruby, you're also going to be signing up a distributor, which is also points. You're going to help them get their very first 4 customers, which is also cruise points. And so you'll definitely get on there with us. So, Stephanie, I don't know where she is. Are you on here? Do you see her, Serena?
I see her on the call, but she's muted, so.
Okay. Okay, well, do you have anything to add to that, Serena?
Well, I would just say that when you're talking about trying to get to Ruby and getting on the cruise, that you need to be diligent in your goals and what you want to accomplish. Now, you can't know where you're going unless you have a plan, right? And a part of that means, you know, setting up daily goals. And, you know, if you know that, I was just telling this to some teammates tonight, if you know that you can send 10 new messages, like that's like an easy breeze for you to send 10 new messages a day, right? Then you need to up it, your daily goal, to like 20 messages, right? You need to push yourself. And even if you fall short and you only end up sending maybe 12 or 15 messages that day, then you still attained more than you know that you're comfortable with. So you need to get out of your comfort zone. You cannot stay in your comfort zone and, you know, excel and go further into this company. You have to push yourself daily. And so that would probably be my biggest tip. I think Steph is on.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You ready?
One of my little ones just like came in right. I like got on and then it just came in. And so I went and got David because she'll never go back to bed if I don't like lay with her or something. So sorry about that. So what have you guys talked about so far? Sorry.
We just briefly went over like what it takes to get to Ruby, and you know how to get cruise points, and then Serena was just talking about, you know, making your goals bigger so that you can actually achieve what your goals are, and that's it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm like still like frazzled from babies. Man, last week was rough too with James getting out of his crib like 10 times. So I'm really excited for the month of July because not only is Green Carpet coming up and there's going to be all kinds of announcements and exciting things from that, I'm sure. They always announce things at our conferences. And I've just been seeing like a lot of the Ambassador Diamonds saying like, oh my gosh, we've been on these calls with Mark and Pam and Mike and hearing like some really exciting things. And all of them are posting things like, if you knew what we knew, you'd be like totally just rocking this month out. So it started getting me just like totally amped up, not only for this month, but just remembering that like everything that we're doing right now is setting us up for like next spring or this fall, like for winter and spring. And, you know, it's like what we do right now is just really preparing us for like our next promotions. And, you know, and so that's like super exciting. I don't know what they'll announce. Like you never know what announcements are coming, but you definitely want to be ready for them. So at any given moment, if they announced like some sort of a promotion or a bonus or whatever, and we never know if they will or won't or when, but you want to be ready. And it just like seeing all of them saying like, if you knew what I knew, like you'd be like running as hard as you can, like as fast as you can. And it just got me really excited thinking like, yes, like we need to be working so hard because at any given moment they could be like, oh, there's another good bonus. Like who's ready for it? And you know, if you haven't been putting in the time and effort, you're not going to be ready for it. So it just made me have that sense of urgency again. Or like a renewed sense of urgency. It's really exciting. And so some of the things I've been thinking a lot about are just kind of getting back to the basics. I think it's easy to get caught up in I'm definitely just a chronic overthinker, you know, really just trying to make the system harder than it is and adding in my own like systems to the system. And it just complicates things, and just really getting back to the basics of how simple this really is and just what it looks like day to day. So I kind of just wanted to go over that with you guys, like what I've been thinking about, because if you're like me, maybe you've been kind of overcomplicating things for yourself. So basically, Serena, I think I kind of caught like the very end of what she was talking about with just like setting a goal. Your goal and like why you're doing this is at the heart of your entire business. So we have tons of systems in place. We have all kinds of training. We have, you know, all like the information that you could need, and you can look up all kinds of YouTube videos and whatnot about like how to do this. But if you don't have it in your heart, if you don't have that goal, if you don't have something pushing you, it's not going to happen. You have to have that in your heart, you know? And so if you don't have a goal, if you don't know what you're working towards right now, whether that's, you know, Ruby, whether maybe that's just executive, maybe that's just getting your first 4 customers. Maybe it's Ruby, maybe it's Diamond, maybe it's something larger, kind of knowing like what your short-term goal is, and then something just long-term, like next year I'm going to be triple diamond, or next year I'm going to be ambassador, like have that big goal. But definitely know what you're working towards right now. If you don't have a solid concrete goal that you're constantly thinking about, like I'm going to be Ruby this month, I'm going to be executive this month, like what is your goal this month? If that's not constantly in your mind and you don't have something concrete that you're like thinking about and you're working towards, you need to figure that out today. Like go figure that out tonight, because that's what's going to drive you. That's what's going to inspire you. And, you know, this is not something that you have to do. This is not a job. It's an opportunity that can change your life. You know, if you don't feel that, like if you don't feel that opportunity right now, find something that inspires you and reminds you every day, like whether you need to like pray for a few minutes, go watch like a Tony Robbins like pump you up video for like 5 minutes every morning, something that just reminds you why you're doing this. And then just day to day, like some of those small things that I was kind of talking about. So obviously reaching out to people, like new people every single day. So just always building a pipeline. A pipeline just means that you are constantly like adding people to a list, like basically adding people to your hundreds list. So you're always adding new people that you can just reach out to and follow up with. And then following up. So making sure that you have a system for that follow-up, whether it's an app that you use or like I'm just a paper and pencil person. So keeping a list of names and moving them to the next Friday or to the next Monday so you can check back in with them. And then I wanted to remind everybody about those 7-day boot camps that we've been doing. Like every person that joins is put into a boot camp group. So hopefully you guys all are in one. We've been doing them for quite a while, so I'd be surprised if you're not in one. but remember that you can always go back to that and use it as a resource. So if you don't have the link anymore, you're not sure, just go up to your search bar in Facebook and put in like new distributor just put in like new distributor bootcamp, and I bet it'll pull it up. I think a long time ago, we were saying like new DT bootcamp. So if you joined a while ago, maybe put in new DT, but it should be new distributor bootcamp. So put that in, use that. I mean, we have all of our scripts there. We have, videos that you can send to people, videos you can watch to pump yourself up. Basically, when we put that together, it was like all of our favorite resources. And so, use that as a resource. So, because I just know I get messages from a lot of my new distributors a lot, like, what message can I send out? How do I reach out to people? And it's all in that boot camp. So just keep using that. And obviously we're always here and happy to help you, but just, know that it's there. So there's tons of posts you can use, tons of scripts you can follow. Just always refer back to that. And then I loved last week that Liz just kept saying, like, do not overthink this. Keep it so simple that it's like silly how simple it is. Especially, well, I still do this, but especially when you're new, don't try to explain the opportunity to people. When you're approaching them about distributing, don't even try. Just say, hey, I'm so excited about this. I'd love to tell you more about this business I just joined. When they say like, okay, well, what is it? Just say, well, I have this really great video I'd love to send to you. It goes over all the details. If I send it your way, and again, I think the script is in the bootcamp, but basically just saying, if I send it your way, would you have a few minutes to check it out? And then you just send them the video to watch. You don't have to do anything. You can answer questions after they watch it, but it takes all of the guesswork out of it. You're not having to explain the business or how they make money, any of that. You're leaving it to, the one I send is like Brianne and Leah. But we can help you find a good video. But so basically, like, use a video. That's super easy. And then same with the products. Like, I loved how Liz was like, don't send them information about like 30 products. I totally did this when I joined, like every product and information about it and how we're so amazing and all these health and wellness supplements and whatnot. Focus on like 1 or 2 products, like obviously the wraps, and then maybe like the greens too. Like, give people like a couple options maybe. Don't like give them all this information. So just keep it so simple. Like, hey, have you heard of the wraps? Or, hey, are you looking for a little bit more energy or getting healthier or something? And then just a reminder for all of us, and I know that like I kind of grilled Liz on this too, just for her input, but that hearing no is so much part of the process. It's just something that we all hear. So even just today, it was so crazy. Just again, was on Instagram, had a potential customer, messaging back and forth. She was on my website for whatever reason, like couldn't find the green button, like the green 40% off button. I was like walking her through, sending her screenshots, like, here's where you click, here's the green button, like really hand holding her through the whole process. And then she messaged me like, oh, I can't find it. Why don't you just give that spot in your 90-day challenge to somebody else or something? And I was like, wait, no, let me help you. Like, it's so easy. Can I call you? And so I was like trying to get her. And I basically lost, like, I haven't heard back from her now. She kind of stopped responding, but she was literally on my website, like had everything in her cart, was about to hit submit, and she had not hit the green button. So it was coming up. She was ordering green. So it was coming up like $67. So I had said like, oh no, like it should be less than that. You need to go back and click the green button. And then, oh my gosh, like she literally was sitting there like pushing the submit button, almost pushing the submit button. So I just wanted you guys to know it happens to all of us. And that it's just part of the process. It's not going to happen all the time, but hearing no is so normal. Or having those things where like you have someone on your website or they're like so close to signing up and then they don't. But I bet, if I keep following up with her, like I'm sure she'll order tomorrow, next week, in a month or so, so I'm not going to let her go that easy. But it's just, it's still just, it's frustrating in the moment when that happens. But kind of the like feast and famine of all of this is just part of the business. So some days you might get a lot of people responding to you and then other times not. And that's totally, totally normal. I think it's just really important. So those are kind of just the day-to-day I was just kind of going through for you guys. And just that, like, it's really small, insignificant things that we do every single day that set us apart later. So you don't have to be putting in like crazy amounts of work. You put in the same small amount of work every single day and it'll pay off. It's that whole, like, if you've heard the analogy of like if somebody says like, I can either give you $3 million or a penny, and I'll double the penny every day for 31 days. That analogy, a lot of you have probably heard it, but most people would say, well, I want $3 million right now. I'd rather have that. But if you take a penny and double it each day for 31 days, it ends up being like $10 million or something like that. But it's not until day 20 or something that you start like, I can't remember which day exactly, but I think it's even higher than that, where you meet the 3 million. Well, yeah, it would be later. It'd be like the very end, like the last like 3 days, right? So like maybe day 29, you finally match that person who made the 3 million. And then the next day you have 6 million, then 9 million. And, so it's just exponential. So if you're putting in the same amount, like that just blows my mind. Like there was nothing different between day 1 to 2 to 3, 3 to 4 than there was from like day 29 to 30 to 31 from like a work standpoint. If you're like making the analogy to this, from like a work standpoint, you're still doing the same thing. Like you're still messaging those 10 or 15 or 20 people every day, each of those. But at some point, it's just all of a sudden going to explode, and it just gets exponential. Like that's what's so amazing about businesses like this, because you can grow so fast. But in the beginning, you don't feel it. You don't feel it until all of a sudden you do, So like think about that penny analogy. Because I know that was true in my business too. You put in a lot of that just daily consistency. And then at some point you're like, oh my gosh, I'm diamond. Like, this is crazy awesome. And then you just keep doing the same thing. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm double diamond. Like there was nothing different about what I was doing. It just compounded, it's amazing. And anybody can do that. Like those are just small, simple steps. It's like making the choice of, instead of watching a show in the evening, going and messaging 15 more people, or, on your lunch break, posting something on Facebook, or fitting those things into your day. Like it's not difficult at all. But what's funny is that like the majority of people in the world don't make those choices. Most of them will go watch the show, or they'll, put their feet up, or at the end of a long day, they won't go message a few more people. So we have to be the exception. We have to make those choices that other people don't make. We have to be different because, if we want our life to be different, if we want this opportunity, we want to get to the top of this business, we have to do things a little bit different and a little bit, more than what just kind of the average person. Like most people are not going to put in the consistency or the time and the effort into it. So just be that difference. And, it pays off just going that extra mile. And like I said, it's not hard. It's like really tiny things, like an extra 15 minutes here or there that are going to pay off like 2 months from now or 6 months from now, like in a huge way, like a life-changing way for your family. And then also something that I've been, hold on, let me make sure sorry. Oh yeah, I had made some notes on what to, but it's so easy to make excuses for ourselves. I think with a business like this, like I mentioned in the beginning, like it's not a job. This is an opportunity. We can make excuses. And I think we have to be really honest with ourselves, because most people who are not making great money with this are not putting in those actions, or not making those choices every day to put in that extra 15 minutes or whatever it is, So I think we have to be really honest with ourselves, what our goal is, and if we're actually taking those steps day to day to get there. Because it's easy. It's just easy to make excuses and say like, oh, I'm doing everything and I'm not making money. But I can tell you, the people I know who like actually are consistently doing this every day, just those small things every single day, are truly moving up through the company and making just crazy money. And then just the last thing I wanted to talk about was kind of blitzing. So I think that that's something that's been on my heart a lot lately, because that's something that's out of my comfort zone. And I think that, to be great in this business, we always need to be kind of pushing our comfort zones. whatever, that's going to look different for everybody, but I know blitzing is one for me. And I think like our business was founded on this idea of we blitz, we wrap, we repeat, you know, like this is what our company was founded on, was going out and getting wraps on people, like getting them on their bellies or getting them somewhere and wrapping people. And I think it's easy to build a business, not easy, but, you know, I think with social media, you can reach so many more people, and it's, you know, you can do it from your phone, from anywhere. It's so great. It's amazing. Like I would never stop using, I love social media, would never stop using it. But I think we've swung to like only, I know I have swung to like only using social media. And so that's something I'm really going to be working on this month for myself, is to actually get out there and blitz people. So I'm going to be working on a script, super simple. Again, not giving them all the information in the moment, just handing them the blitz card, and then either saying like, you know, hey, can I give you information later? Or, hey, can I send over a video for you to watch? So it's something where like you could literally go up to someone, say 2 sentences, wait for a yes or a no, and then like walk away. It's not going to be crazy. So I'm going to be working on a script that I'm going to memorize so I can just have it like on the top of my head and just walk up to people and say, da 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 da, you know, ready, done, hand it to them, and walk away. So I'll share that with you. And I know Shanna probably has something too that she uses when she blitzes, but you know, pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone is a good thing. Like that's where your business is going to explode. So, and don't ignore this whole other avenue of our business, you know. So social media is amazing, but don't forget, like we can do parties and vendor events and blitz people, and there's this whole other avenue, and even just getting people on the phone, you know, when you meet them instead of like Facebook messaging. So that's something I've been thinking about a lot. So hopefully that gives you some ideas, some things just to kind of like think about, finding out like what would be for you, for, you know, pushing your comfort zone, what your goals would be, what maybe some obstacles are that are keeping you from those goals or excuses that you're making. And then don't forget about those new distributor trainings, because they are just a wealth of knowledge. Like there's so many videos and scripts and posts and things that you can use in there that I have a feeling, I know like when I joined, I would get overwhelmed with all that information. You probably didn't get all of it right when you first joined. So go back through and reread it, look over it, use it. But I wanted to see really quick, and then I wanted to see if anybody would be brave enough to share, maybe just a couple people, like what their goal is this month and like what they're working on and what that would mean for their family. So like why you chose that goal. So I'm just going to pause for a minute. Anybody? I'm good with silence too, so I'm patient. In grad school, we had to sit like quiet because I went for speech pathology, and we'd have to just like sit and wait, and like, you know, somebody will talk eventually. People don't like silence.
Can you hear me? No. I don't know if they can hear me. Can you hear me?
Not very well.
Okay, let me see. Can you hear me?
Kind of. Serena, can you? Okay.
Okay. Are we good? It's like, sorry, it's like right in my face because I'm trying to talk on the microphone.
There, I can hear you.
I am hoping, praying, crossing my fingers, messaging a million people. I am going Ruby this month in July. I mean, the money, you know, I think the double Ruby points is like, just like, it's so awesome. Like, I mean, that's 5,000 right there. And I've been so close for a couple months, and I'm just pushing and pushing and pushing. This month is the month. I'm going to make it happen. And, you know, obviously, you know, I've been doing this for quite a few months now, and I didn't make the Ruby bonus, but that's okay, you know, because that's just another, promotion. And, you know, like the more you work, the more, cause I mean, we're all working, you know, to make more extra monthly income. So that'll just be awesome to, you know, have my hard work pay off, get paid on more levels. And I've never been on a cruise. I'm kind of nervous about it. I think that, I mean, I'm excited that, I mean, have that potential. I have a crazy weak stomach, so I'll have to go to the doctor before I go, but yeah, that's all. I'm just, messaging as many people as I can and hoping that it all works out.
Yay. Now change that hoping and trying to I am going Ruby this month.
Yeah, I'm going Ruby this month. It's going to happen.
I promise. You change that language. Like my husband calls me out on it all the time. Because I'll be like, oh, I'm going to try to do this. Or I'm going to really hoping I get to whatever goal by, and he'll be like, well, you're not if you keep saying that. Like you have to keep telling yourself every day, like, I am going to do this. I will do that. Anyway, that's a little of my husband seeping through, but it really works actually. So tell yourself that every day. Like I am Ruby in July.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's happening. It is happening. All right. Yeah. One more person.
This isn't the one that's working.
I know what you are all going to be doing after this call. I'm looking through, I'm like flashing through all my pages of faces. I know you have goals. Be brave. One more person. Who's brave? It's okay if it's just like getting your first 4 customers.
I'll go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Go Ruby. I mean, hello.
Woohoo!
So close. I was
You
so
are
close
so close.
And so I'm like, it's going to happen this month.
It's going to happen. What would that mean for your family? Like, why are you pushing for Ruby?
It would be good. The annual or the average income would be, huge for us to be able to, that I haven't made an income in over 5 years. So to have that in our home would be awesome and a huge blessing to just relieve the stress off my husband, and it would be huge.
So would that be like for groceries or paying off debt or
savings?
What would you say? Savings?
Savings. We just have some goals for our family, and it would just be huge to be able to encourage that.
Awesome. I only pressed you because I think it's easy sometimes to be like, oh, I really want to be this rank and it'd be so great and it'd be such a blessing. But like, I think it's those specific reasons. Like I knew that if I could cover the grocery bill each month, or if I could cover the van payment each month, like that is life-changing. Mm-hmm. Whereas just thinking like having some extra money would really help us, that's not tangible. That's not going to like drive you to push harder in this business. It's those really tangible, like Lori Conway, like if it's just getting your nails done once a month, like that's something. So, yeah. Oh, awesome, Megan. Yeah, share.
Okay. So, I don't know if all y'all know I have 4 kids. So that's definitely my why, but I'm going to go Ruby this month. Not only to hopefully get on the cruise, but, as soon as I signed up, we had some issues with our vehicle. So we actually had to buy a new vehicle. So that money, when I make Ruby, is going to help towards my car payment and groceries and obviously my 4 kids.
Perfect. Yay. And we're going to celebrate with you so hard when you go Ruby.
Yes. I will be doing a happy dance and my kids are going to probably look at me like I'm crazy.
That's all right. It's good to be crazy. Crazy is good. The other thing I was going to just ask if anybody would be brave enough to share is maybe just like an obstacle that's keeping you from getting your goals. Just what obstacles you're facing maybe right now, and something that we could just be brave and share. Or like your obstacle to finding success, and what you think is your obstacle maybe.
I'll go again, if you don't mind.
Yeah. I was finding it anyway.
right now, I think my biggest obstacle is running out of my warm market. Like, it's easy to get like followers on Instagram, which is obviously your cold market, and you wait for them to, like or comment. But like getting people in my warm market that haven't heard of It Works or haven't tried it yet has been kind of an obstacle for me. So right now I've been really pushing Instagram, just it's a numbers game. The more people you reach out to, the more followers you have, the more, likely you're going to be to get a sale. But yeah, I guess it's been I've gone through my parents' friend list. I've gone through my siblings' friend list. I've done like close friends to where, people that I might have, that we might have mutual, and I feel like I'm just like running the bottom of the barrel, and I'm like just at under 500 friends, which is like a lot. Like I've come a long way since when I started. But yeah, I think I'm just running out of people to talk to.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you for sharing. So maybe you're like getting out of your comfort zone or pushing your comfort zone this month is like moving outside of your warm market. Like, it's okay to not have any more warm market people to message, like it's great if you have a huge network and people, but not everybody does, and that's okay. So whether that's blitzing or just meeting new people on Facebook or, like you said, Instagram, which it sounds like you're already doing, but
quickly, I know that we were talking the other night and you said that David was like, he sent out like messages to people, like cold messages, like, and he was just like, hey, have you ever heard of It Works? Like, I would love to know what he said to make it not sound spammy, because I get spammed by people on Instagram all day long.
He definitely
Juice
doesn't
Plus,
do
Advocare, makeup, clothes, and I would love to know like what he said that isn't so like, oh my gosh, like another person bothering me.
Yeah, I will see. I'm not exactly sure. I know he was trying out a couple different scripts of like, but it's usually after he's built just a little bit of a relationship, like where he's liked or commented on their pictures a few times, so he can then, it's not just a cold message that, he's already liked and commented and kind of said like, oh, your kids are so cute or whatever. And then he'll message them something. He's been doing one lately that like product models, instead of saying like product testers, like saying I'm looking for product models to test out the products or whatever. But I'll ask him and let you know.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm certainly not the Instagram guru.
Oh, me either. I think Facebook is really fun. And I think it's just, following up with people, looking at their pictures. Instagram's a chore for me. I know some people are like really into Instagram and they love to just like look at the pictures. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's work.
Well, there's a million Facebook groups that you can do the same thing you're doing on Instagram, but with Facebook, and just build your network on Facebook through that. So
yeah,
I'll message with you later so we don't take any more time, but
okay.
If Instagram doesn't have to be your thing, like find what works, find what you like and what makes you happy and enjoyable, and push yourself on that. So push yourself on extending your network on Facebook then, but I'll message you, but
yeah. Awesome.
Don't limit yourself. Yeah. Laura, what was your question?
When you first started the business, did y'all feel uncomfortable that people were going to think that you were calling them fat and stuff like that? Like, that kind of scares me.
Yeah.
Because you never know. If you're talking to somebody, they're going to think, well, she's thinking that I'm fat and I need to lose weight. So
yeah, I have a couple of funny stories about that.
It's kind of scary.
Hannah, do you want to answer that? I said, do either of you guys want to answer that?
Yeah, actually, the very first, I used to go to meetings with the Conways.
Mm-hmm.
I just hear an echo. And so they're like top 3 earners. They're doing really well. And Quentin, he always said that, he would just ask everybody and then they'd say, are you saying that I'm fat? And he always would just say, no, I'm not saying that you need it, but everybody wants it. Or, like, you might not need it, but everybody wants these things. And so just kind of putting it like from that perspective, like, and then you could go into what they actually do, because they actually aren't for weight loss. They are for tightening, toning, firming. They get rid of cellulite. I'm like a very skinny person, and I didn't think it would do anything for me, but it rejuvenates your skin. It helps your cellulite. It helps any saggy skin, any scarring, just so many things, and it's all skin based. So it does penetrate deeper into, different layers and things like that. But I would just say something like that. Just turn it around to, well, it works on everybody and everybody wants these things. They are flying off of my shelf like hotcakes, Sorry, you're muted. I muted you.
I was going to even try it myself, so.
Well, they're still flying off your shelf like hotcakes. Until you try things, my very first sale was the Essential Bars. I still have never tried those things. My second one was New You, and it took me 6 months to try that. So you don't have to try it to love it and to market it to people. And it's just like the business. You're not making any money yet, but you are going to be making a lot of money. So that's your attitude, is telling people that. Okay. You're not going to say, well, my current paycheck is zero. You're
exactly.
about to make a $500 Ruby bonus. Do you want to do that with me? Okay. It's all about mentality, just like we were talking about earlier.
Chad Kneller at It Works You, he was sharing that when he blitzes, instead of just saying like, hey, is this something you'd be interested in? He says, he holds it out and says like, hey, have you heard of this crazy rap thing? Or he says, he says something like, would you or anyone do you know anyone who might be interested in something like this? Or have you heard of these raps? Do you know anyone who would be interested? So like, not even asking that person if they want it, but like, do you know anybody who would want it? And of course, most people are going to say, well, I want it. Like, I want to tighten and tone, but it's not putting it on them. It's like just putting it out there. So that's something else you could try too. I've never tried that one, but he is a top earner, so it probably works.
Okay, and let's
anybody else facing any obstacles that you want to share, and then we'll move on.
Hear me? Beth has one, and she said, she's sleeping. she has a sleeping husband next to her. And she said one of her obstacles is that people respond with negative hearsay, but they've never tried it. And so they just say, I heard something bad. And being new, I don't know enough about each product to defend it well. The thing that I always say to newbies, first of all, first you want to tell your customer to go ahead and try it for themselves, to write an honest review, because for every bad review you can find 10 really good reviews. I just had a girl who ordered 4 products from a new person, and then she was going to return it all because she had gone on Amazon and seen a couple of negative reviews. And so we told her, you need to write your own review. You've already kind of committed to that, so just you try it, you write your own review for us. But what I always say, especially to new distributors, it's the whole entire reason that this is such a good opportunity right now. We've been around for 16 years and we're growing at a rate of 1,500%. You cannot be doing that if your products don't work. If your products don't work, we would be way gone a long time ago. Our products obviously work. Otherwise, there's no way that anybody could be successful with this. So just keep that in mind. And if you have that mindset of like, okay, well, there's no way that this could not work, otherwise nobody can be successful, then you can have that confident, positive attitude and just say that to them. I say that to potentials all the time. If they say, well, I heard that it didn't work, or I don't know if it works because I didn't use it myself. It's the same thing I said to myself whenever I got started. So hopefully that answered your question. Are we still looking for somebody else? Stephanie? Or?
Oh, no, only if anybody has something to share.
Okay, if you guys have any other obstacles or any other questions at all, unmute yourself, let us know, or write in chat. You guys are doing a great job with that. That's awesome. I did want to talk a little bit about Green Carpet because that is coming up next week. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that there is an option to watch it online. And so I really think you should take that really seriously. Like, a lot of people don't really know what it is. It's like a mini conference in the middle of the summer. So our big one is in January. And then this one is almost like Christmas in July type thing. It's in the middle, semi-annual kind of thing, but it's huge. It, like Stephanie said, they're going to have a lot of announcements. They're going to have a lot of really great panels of people who have been doing this for a long time. They're making a lot of money, and they know exactly how to make a lot of money. So it's very inspiring. There's almost always a story or somebody that you're going to connect with, which I think is one of the most important things that you can do to be successful with this. And were we talking about this at our last meeting? I don't even remember when I was talking about this, but if you can find a leader that you really identify with and start basically stalking them, like on Facebook and on YouTube and on Periscope and things like that, and almost always it's from a big meeting. So a big One Team, One Mission, a big It Works You, or Green Carpet. And so you can listen to all these leader stories and identify with them. And if something speaks to you, it's a really good opportunity then to kind of get to know them better. We talk about it like, it's almost like you're hearing these things from Stephanie and I and Serena and Emily, and but it's like we're your parents for whatever reason. You hear it from the same thing from somebody else who's awesome, but not your parents. And you're like, all right, that makes sense. And that's what happened to me. I mean, Brienne was saying the exact same things. That I don't know if you guys know who Chantel Lyons was, but she was that person for me. As soon as she told me that I could be a millionaire with this, that was my reality. Brienne had told me that plenty of times, but I didn't believe her. Really, I said that I believed her, but in my soul, I didn't quite believe her. But as soon as I heard it from Chantel, it was like, holy crap, I can be a millionaire with this. So Green Carpet is such a good way to get to know what leaders we have. There are going to be so many amazing people on stage sharing so many awesome stories. And also just tips. They usually have a panel about parties, blitzing, social media, what else? Tons. And then Dr. Don will probably be talking about products. Just a lot of really great information. And the more you feel connected to not only leaders, but also the company. So you're going to get to see the CEO, the chief networking officer, and all of the top people in our company that are literally running and making the decisions for our company. And getting to know them and getting to know why they're making these decisions and where their heart is also really key to feeling super connected. So then it's not just these people over here, running this business. It's like they are our heart. They are the people who are, doing this because they really care about us. They want us to be very successful. They have written this perfect recipe, this perfect compensation plan, come up with these perfect products that we can make as much money as we want with this. And that's their whole entire goal. So getting to know those people and why they're making these decisions, what they have planned next for us, because there are going to be announcements, and what is coming next is so exciting. I mean, I'm getting excited literally just thinking about it, even though I am not going, but Serena's going, and I'm going to be watching it for sure.
For this house?
Sorry, is somebody trying to talk? Anyway, so the ticket, I don't even know how much it is, but I promise you it is so incredibly worth it. Definitely think of it as kind of an investment in yourself. We always talk about conference being an investment in your business, but this is almost better because you can watch it from your living room and it's recorded. You can fast forward and pause it. But you don't have to pay for your plane ticket. You're not paying for your hotel. So you just get to do it from the comfort of your own living room. So don't miss out on it. And definitely, I think it may be $50. I'm not sure, but it's only for the one day. And then so on Friday, they're going to basically do the same thing. And then on Saturday, they repeat it. But then Saturday is when they'll probably do the announcements, because once they announce things, they can't really like take back the announcement and act like that was a new thing. So I think I'm going to, I don't know if you, does Stephanie, have you already bought your ticket? Like, do you know if you can choose Friday or Saturday?
No, but I can go look on eSuite really quick right now.
I know. Somebody on here has bought their ticket and knows. I'm sure, Emily, you've already bought your ticket, right? You did? Well, could you choose? No. Okay, so you just unmute yourself. What are you saying? Trying to read the charades.
I'm talking to myself. I think you get to access both days. So I think you can kind of.
Okay, that's what I was hoping for. So it's probably going to be pretty much the same as far as panels go, but the end will be different on Saturday. Hopefully.
I bet they have different people doing the panels though, don't you think? So like, even though they're covering the same topics, it might actually be like different stories.
Last year, I think it was like literally the same, but.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Because I know like
they were planning on it last year. You know, like they weren't planning on having 2 days.
Oh, right. That's right.
Kind of like a little later. So maybe it'll be different this year. Anyway, so that is, does anyone, Serena, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I had something that I wanted to say real quick, and that was about people not getting promotions. Just the other day, I found out like the top 10, one of the top 10 earners in the company, Ashley Sinclair. I had no idea this. I knew one of the ambassador diamonds didn't get a promotion, but she's like top 10, and she never gotten one single promotion that the company has offered.
Oh, you mean a bonus?
Yes, a bonus promotion.
Yeah, Liz Barton hasn't either, because they're one of the reasons that there's a 2.0 spot, because so many of them promoted when there was no such thing as a good bonus, and they were like really mad about it, and so they wanted a chance to do it, and so that's why there's a few different ones. Like the Conways, they never did either.
So, I mean, you guys need to really put that into perspective here. When we're talking about vision and we're talking about goals, I mean, we're not talking about, you do want to get to Ruby, but you don't want to stop at Ruby. You want to keep going. And, I mean, just go as far as you can possibly go. I mean, the sky is the limit. This job is limitless. I mean, there's people all around you on Facebook, on Instagram, in groups. I mean, vendor events. I mean, your neighbor next door. I mean, really, it's limitless. You just have to have the courage to go out there and touch all those people.
Someone just said that there's only 140,000. This last month, there were only 140,000 paychecks. So
wow,
it's like nothing.
Nope.
So we don't have very many people doing this. So that means that those are the people that are actively trying to spread the word. So there are obviously a lot more people than that to be talking to. We talk to people every day, all day, that have never heard of this, just through Facebook and Instagram. Every single day, I talk to many people who have never heard of this. So, and that always, every single time, it kind of blows me away. I'm like, someday I'm going to talk to 10 people and they're all going to have heard of this, but it has not happened yet for sure.
Well, it is true. The only limits that you have are the limits that you put on yourself. I mean, that is not a cliche. So, you know, this is just like a gift that's being handed to you, and it's your turn to open it. So,
our priest the other day, you know, he was saying, he had a homily about the lottery ticket that, like, basically this lady was like praying that she would just win the lottery. You know, she's like, God, if I could just win the lottery, it would change my life, and I would give it all away, and blah, 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 blah. And she prayed for it for like months. And then I don't know if she died or whatever, but anyway, eventually God was like, I just needed you to buy the lottery ticket. Like, if you would have just bought it, I could have given it to you. And so I feel like that is what this is. It's like, this is our lottery ticket, but you have to do it. You know, like you have to jump in and really take advantage of it.
Yay.
Okay, so Stephanie, what do you got? Anything else?
Oh, I was just going to say that I loved how you like referenced sometimes your like upline feeling like parents, you know, like how you can hear from, like, I just loved that like kind of analogy a little bit. And I just, again, kind of, because I sort of said that too, like just that this is not a job. Like we are not your bosses. We're really not your parents. We promise. Like we give you all this information, but we're not like trying to manage you or be your parents or whatever. Like this is yours. This is your business. This is your time. This is your opportunity for your family. And even if you had uplines who like were non-existent, who didn't care about you, didn't give you any help whatsoever, you could become a millionaire with this, you know, like this is, so it is definitely on ownership too. Like you have to own this for yourself and just go get it. And we are totally here for you, but you know, this is yours. This is your baby, your business. This is not a job. Like you're not answering to us. You know, this is yours. It's just, that's what gets me excited is like, it really is limitless. Like Serena said, the sky is the limit. There's nothing limiting how much we can earn, how fast we can go. There's people going Ambassador Diamond in less than a year. Like it's what you want to make of it. And any day that I'm feeling discouraged or like, oh, things aren't moving as fast as I would, like my husband will be the first one to say like, well, go make it happen. Like nobody's like holding you back. Nobody's like, you can't be looking to anybody else. This is yours. Like go faster if you want to go faster, you know? So just remember that too. Like, hopefully you're not, you know, we are not your bosses. We're not your parents. Like we are here to cheer you on and do this with you. And just, you know, celebrate, like we were saying, like celebrate when you hit those goals. And so just own it and go after it, you guys. So exciting. Sorry, I was just looking, people were commenting when I was talking.
Okay.
You can do it, Monica.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, you guys will be shocked that if you just push, you know, everything seems so far away, but then as soon as you hit diamonds, like everything seems so doable. It's like, oh my gosh, if I can do that, then I can do anything. Okay, well, good job, everybody. If anybody has anything else, like definitely post your aha moments in the comments for people who couldn't get on. I'm recording it, so I will post the recording hopefully tomorrow. And I think that's it. Okay, thank you guys so much.